Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing our final video, part 4 of our KKW fragrance extravaganza. Now, this video actually isn't going to be based on any fragrances from KKW fragrance. This is actually going to be a video about Kim Kardashian's first perfume line, her original perfume line, just called Kim Kardashian. I know, creative, right? But to be fair, most celebrity perfume lines are just the name of the celebrity, because that is what is most profitable. But we all know the reputation that a lot of celebrity fragrances have. And in case you don't, celebrity fragrances have a reputation for being cheap. And yes, celebrity fragrances are less expensive. They are cheap monetarily, at least in comparison to most fragrances, or at least designer fragrances, niche fragrances, etc. But they're also considered cheap because they tend to have cheaper ingredients, less quality ingredients. And the smells, which are often pleasant, aren't necessarily expensive smelling, great smelling. You can tell there's more of a synthetic quality to them. Now, there are outliers when it comes to this. There are plenty of really good celebrity fragrances. And over the years, celebrity fragrances have upped their game, which is great. But as a general rule, that's how most celebrity fragrances are classified. I was least excited to do this video because of that reputation, because that's what is kind of expected from celebrity fragrances. And I'm even less excited to do it now, only because as each of these videos has gone on, I've been less and less and less pleased with the perfumes that I've been smelling. Like I said, this was Kim Kardashian's first perfume line. It wasn't her own company. She released these perfumes under a parent company called Lighthouse Beauty. And a lot of brands do this, and most celebrities do this. They don't start their own business from the ground up. They find another beauty fragrance company to release their line of fragrance from. They do the production, and they're more just involved in the creative process. And she released her first perfume back in 2009, and most of these perfumes were sold through retailers like Walmart, Kmart. She did release, I believe, 7 perfumes in total, and today I will be reviewing 6 of those fragrances. The only one I will not be reviewing will be Kim Kardashian Love. And the only reason why I'm not reviewing that one is because there wasn't a lot of them. I don't know if it was limited edition or if it's just one of those fragrances that isn't available in the space anymore. It's not sold in retailers anymore. And I barely saw any in third-party resellers, and all of them were jacked up, as we've learned is just the case with discontinued fragrances that are hard to find. So we're going to do without that one. Now, the first perfume that she launched in 2009 was her original perfume, simply called Kim Kardashian. Now, if you were a fan of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you might remember this fragrance as the one that was supposed to be called Dashing. And the drama that that caused on the Keeping Up with Kardashian show between her sisters Khloe and Kourtney, because they had a retail store called Dash, and apparently they had discussed releasing a perfume called Dash or Dashing as the three of them, and Kim was getting her own perfume line, and she wanted to use that name for her perfume, and they got into a huge fight about it, and they called her selfish, and they said that Kris, the mom, was, favoritism because she got Kim perfume line and didn't get a perfume line for the three of them together. And it was, all that fun, beautiful late 2000s reality TV show drama that everybody loved. The perfume that was to be Dashing, that just never was, is the original fragrance released in 2009. The original Kim Kardashian perfume. I got a mini of, so this is what the box looks like. Here you can see that really, it's actually pretty. Her logo, it's 2 Ks. They're like, one's a K this way and one's a backwards K. It's very interesting. And this is just a really small 3 ml roller ball. So again, trying not to be wasteful because I don't know if I'll like these or not. This is what the little mini roller ball looks like. It has like a little, they're all of the little logos on there, but it looks kind of like a fishnet. So I can't spray this, so I'm just going to roller ball onto the strip and hope that works. Alright, it's not coming out, so I'm going to have to use my skin on this one. My skin is dry. Nothing is coming out. I can see liquid in the bottle. I can smell the liquid in the bottle. I can't get it out. I'm a little dumbfounded. Like, there's scent on my hand, but I don't know if I'm getting the full scent of the fragrance. So I'm just going to go off what I smell on my hand and what I could smell coming out of the bottle. This, from what I can smell from the bottle and on my hand, smells exactly, and when I say exactly, I mean almost exactly like Crystal Gardenia. Or maybe, since Crystal Gardenia and her KKW X Chris perfume smell very similar, it smells like those two perfumes. It smells like she probably created Crystal Gardenia, which was her first fragrance, as a way to recreate her original scent, Kim Kardashian, and have it be her own, and have her own that scent going forward, and not be through a branded, through a parent company. There's a little bit of a coldness to it. There's a little bit of a mint note at the beginning. It's like a refreshing, sweet, floral note. Crystal Gardenia is one of the perfumes that I was going to keep from the original. It's very similar. This is a nicer, more expensive smelling version of this, and a little less sweet and a little more fresh. And this is a little warmer, but it's very similar. I think this actually probably smells a little bit more like the Kris Jenner scent. And the cold mintiness has already worn off of my hand, while this one tends to hang around a little longer. So I think Crystal Gardenia is just a fancier, more expensive, updated, grown-up version of her original scent, Kim Kardashian. Those are my thoughts. The top notes of the original Kim Kardashian scent are honeysuckle, African orange flower, and mandarin orange. The middle notes are tuberose, gardenia, jasmine, and spices. And we saw in a lot of her other perfumes that she's a huge fan of gardenia. She really likes tuberose. She uses jasmine a lot. I mean, to be fair, jasmine is a very, very common flower scent to be used in perfumes, but specifically we know she likes gardenia, and she did use tuberose quite a few times as well. And the base notes are tonka, orchid, sandalwood, other woodsy notes, and just says woodsy notes, and musk. I don't dislike it. I liked Crystal Gardenia enough to keep it, but Crystal Gardenia is definitely better. I think I gave that a Crystal Gardenia 7. So I'll give it a 6.5. It's similar enough. But I would never choose to wear that over Crystal Gardenia. But if you don't want to spend the money on Crystal Gardenia, or if you want to see if you might like it, you can get the mini from FragranceNet for like $2-3. Now, let me compare the notes. The top notes are different. They're totally different. Gardenia and tuberose are middle notes in both of these fragrances. Crystal Gardenia has tiare flower. This one has jasmine and spices instead. And sandalwood and musk are base notes in both fragrances. This one has tonka and woodsy notes. Crystal Gardenia has solar amber. That's the other note. So there are several similar notes in them. Enough as why you could see a similarity. And it makes sense. Those are the notes that seems to run frequent through a lot of her fragrances. So there you go. So the second scent in her scent line is this one here. This is Kim Kardashian Gold. So this is what the packaging looks like. I don't know if this is what the large packaging looks like. If it isn't, I'll put it up on the screen somewhere, what the original packaging looked like for the full size. And this is what the mini bottle looks like. Now, the full size of this bottle is a 3.5 4-ounce bottle, and it goes for anywhere between $22 and $33 online. And this is an eau de parfum. It is an EDP, and it's considered an amber floral. You know how I feel about amber, so I'm not having high hopes for this. But other than that, I really know nothing about this, so I'm not going to even make any guesses. I'm assuming it's going to smell, you know, fancy, because that's the kind of girl she is, and a little sexy and romantic. But other than that, I don't have any guesses, so we're just going to go ahead and give this a sniff. So this mini is a sprayer. I don't know if you could see it, but that sprayer was like super sad. It was like, oh, like it just went out like half a centimeter and then just kind of fell downwards. That was what I was expecting. It's spicy. It's very peppery. There's a very strong pepper note in this, which I like, surprisingly. But there's definitely that warmth under there, that amber, that like creamy, warm. There is a sexiness to it. It's like a very sexy scent. The pepper, sometimes I think pepper also makes a scent sexy. It's just like that little spice, that little bite that I appreciate. Those are usually the kind of sexy scents I like better, because it's not just one note, you know. I kind of like this. It's definitely not an everyday wear kind of perfume for me. It might be a night out kind of perfume. I would have to see how it sat on my skin, and also what the dry down was like. Because I think if the pepperiness wore off of this too much, I might not like it as much. But I'm surprised. I like it more than I thought I would. I'm not in love, but it's definitely a little more interesting to the nose than I expected. It's not super complex, which is kind of to be expected with these celebrity fragrances. But I don't find that this one smells super cheap. You know, it's not like an immediate, like, what kind of cheap-ass perfume are you wearing? I don't get that, you know. It doesn't smell luxe. It doesn't smell designer. But it doesn't smell like a body splash either. I don't know. I kind of like that. So let's look at the notes. So the notes for Kim Kardashian Gold are, on the top, we have grapefruit, bergamot, and pink pepper. There we go. There's that pepper note. I said when I smelled this, this absolutely has to have a pepper note in it. And it does. So, yay. That's one note I usually can recognize fairly well. It's, I think, pretty obvious. So I'm not going to give myself any props for that, because I don't think that requires much skill to recognize pepper. The middle notes are jasmine, violet, and rose. I don't know if I smell rose. You know what? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I think the pepper might be masking the rose just a touch, because rose can have that kind of light little bit. It's not spicy. It's like a soft powdery note that can sometimes have a little bit of a pepperiness to it. So I think that's mixing very well with the pepper note. And the base notes are amber, benzoin, patchouli, musk, and sandalwood. The amber is definitely in there. It's very warm underneath, and you know, it's getting warmer by the minute. Patchouli a little bit. There's a little bit of an earthiness to it. I kind of relayed that to maybe the spice, the pepperis. Why do I keep saying pepperis? I kind of related that to the pepperiness. But overall, I think it's a pretty good perfume. I might give it a try, because it's a, you know, a mini. You know, if I don't end up liking it, I don't feel so bad about keeping it and just using it every once in a blue. In case I didn't say, it's a 7.5 ml mini bottle. So what would I rate this one? I'm going to say a 7. Because it's not something I could wear every day. I like it, but it loses some of the notes that I really like after a few minutes. So I'm not going to give it a 7.5, which was my initial thought. And we'll see how it plays on my skin. But not so bad. All right, the next scent we have is Kim Kardashian Glam. Glam was released in 2012. It's also an eau de parfum, an EDP, and a 1.7 ounce bottle you can find online for about $20. I think I spent less than that for mine. It is a used bottle and it did not come with a box, so I don't have the box. If I can find it online, I'll throw a picture up on the screen. This is what it looks like. There's like an ombre pink bottle. I don't know if you can tell that it's clear up top and it's darker pink at the bottom. It's gemstoned, but my perfume leaked a little bit in the mail and the wetness knocked off half of the gemstones on the back. I don't know if you can see that. So it is, and the cap is very loose and the sprayer is white. So it's a little cheap looking and feeling. I mean, it's cute, but it's definitely, it's not luxe, that's for sure. And this perfume is supposed to be a floral fruity scent. Looking at the bottle, I could see that too. See it being like a sweet fragrance. It's supposed to be like a, you know, a luxe, sexy sweetness. So let's give it a spray and see if that's what it is. That sprayer was much better. Suntan lotion, right off the bat. I'm not really smelling much of the fruity. I'm smelling peppery floral with a suntan lotion note underneath. Kind of synthetic smelling. The most synthetic smelling of the three so far. Alright, so the top notes for Kim Kardashian Glam are watermelon, red berries, and citrus. Maybe I'm getting citrus a little bit, but watermelon and red berries, I don't smell that. I would have loved to smell that. And the middle notes are tuberose, star jasmine, and rose. And the base notes are musk, orris root, and sandalwood. There's no pepper in here. So I think that might be some of the citrus mixed with some of the floral, giving it a little bit of a peppery note, maybe mixed with the rose. Maybe the orris root too. I'm not actually too familiar with what orris root smells like. I'm going to give it a 6.5. I like the scent category. I like the idea of it, but it's a little too synthetic-y smelling, a little chemically smelling for my taste. The scent category, if done a little better, maybe I would have given this higher, but just because of the quality of it, I'm going to say 6.5. All right, the next perfume she released was in 2013, and that was the perfume Pure Honey. Also an EDP. It is a floral fragrance, and a 3.4 fluid ounce bottle goes for about $20 online. I don't think it's sold by regular retailers anymore. Most of it's third-party sellers. Now, the one that I got, I got it from a third-party seller. It didn't have the original box, so I'll throw that up on the screen if I can find it. And it didn't come with the cap, so I'll throw up a picture of the whole entire bottle too, if I can find it, cap and all. But this is what the bottle looks like without the cap. So it is like a triangular bottle that's, you know, kind of, you know, gemstone cut, and it's got a cute little bee. The stinger kind of goes down in to spell the words Pure Honey on it in the bottom. So that's actually pretty cute. I kind of like the bottle. I think of all the bottles, this is the nicest looking one so far. I don't like amber colored fragrances in a bottle. I just don't think those look as pretty. I think they look old. But the fragrance is pure honey, and it is a beautiful honey color, so it makes sense in the context of this perfume. So I'm expecting something very floral, but also having that syrupy, sweet honey smell as well. Those are my only predictions for this perfume, so let's just go ahead and smell this one. Now, I'm not getting a lot of the honey, at least not initially. I mean, there's a little bit of sweetness, syrupiness to it, but it's like way in the back. I'm just getting floral. This one's also very synthetic-y. I mean, that can happen a lot with floral scents. Floral scents are very strong in their own right, and they can come off chemically sometimes. Even more natural smelling florals can come off that way, which is, I think, a big part of the reason why I'm not a huge floral fan, but it's pretty. It's not super overbearing, but floral scents in general are kind of overbearing for me, but this is not an extreme overbearing floral fragrance in general. Let's look at the notes just to kind of get a sense of what florals are in here. So the top notes are my dreaded enemy, freesia. So I think that's where the chemically synthetic-y note is coming from. Thankfully, it's not super sharp and piercing like freesia can be, but it's there. Along with red rose and mandarin orange, or sorry, mandarin blossom. The middle notes are beeswax, honey, honeysuckle, and orchid. Again, all make sense for what this fragrance is supposed to be. And then the base notes are coconut, musk, and vanilla. Not a coconut fan, not a musk fan, not a vanilla fan. If you threw amber in there, those would, along with the freesia, those would be my 5 most hated notes, most likely. I'm gonna give it a 6. It's a little, like I said, it's too synthetic smelling for me. It's too floral for my tastes. I don't think it's a bad floral fragrance. It smelled worse. Like I said, it's not super complex. It's not super luxe smelling. All right, the next perfume that she released was also in 2012. So again, these might be a little out of order. I don't know which one was released first in 2012, but they were all released. The ones that were mentioned were all released around the same time period, so I'm just picking an order. And that is True Reflection, and it is also an eau de parfum, and this is what the bottle looks like. So it's a dark, like, there's a dark blue on the bottom, and it like ombres up until like almost a very light yellow color till it gets clear at the top. And there's the insignia on the front. Again, this was when I bought from a third-party seller. I think it was a tester, didn't come with the cap, so I don't have the original packaging. If I have any pictures of either of those, I'll throw them up on the screen. And it's the same shaped bottle as the Pure Honey one. This is a 3.4 fluid ounce, and you can find these online for about $15, mostly through third-party sellers. Probably through all third-party sellers, honestly. Because of the darker bottle, I'm expecting something a little darker, maybe more of a night scent. It says it's a floral, fruity scent. Hopefully, maybe leaning a little more fruity. But let's just give it a shot. All right, it's not as bad as the note that I caught initially upon first spray. It's definitely more of a nighttime scent. It definitely is darker. It's definitely warmer, more creamy, kind of similar to the Kim Kardashian Gold scent, minus the peppery note and a little more creamy. I think there is a little bit of like a spicy note in here, but it doesn't have that great bite of initial pepper the way the Gold scent did. I don't love a lot of these scents. It's not original at all. It's not special. It's like very basic, very base of those type of scents. A creamy, warm, darker, night date, sexy scent. Like if you wanted to start with a base of what that smells like, this would probably be it, and then you know, you'd build on it to make it your own interesting designer fragrance if you were making your own perfume. So I would say this is very basic for that kind of scent. Really not much else to say about it. The notes for True Reflection. Top notes are plum, peach, and bergamot. Middle notes are orchid, gardenia, and lotus. And the base notes are patchouli, woodsy notes, and musk. So other than the plum, all of those notes are kind of basic, very common sense. The plum, I think, gives a little something to it, but it's definitely not a star in this scent. Again, it's not a bad scent, but it's just so basic and unoriginal. I'm going to give it a 6. These are not my types of fragrances to begin with. And the ones that I do like have to have a little more to them than this. This is too creamy, too warm, not interesting enough. It's not bad if you want something basic that you don't want to have to spend a lot of money on. This is fine. It's not a bad scent, but it's not worth going out and looking for if you already, especially if you already have something in this scent family. This is not going to outdo it. And then in 2014, she released this fragrance, Fatale. It's a very pretty picture of her. I mean, she's gorgeous. Can't really go wrong. And the box is just like a white flower geometric pattern type of thing. This bottle is a 1.7 fluid ounce. 3.4 fluid ounces go for about $18 online. Again, most of them are third-party resellers. This is also an eau de parfum. And it's considered a floral woodsy musk. So bottle's very different. It's made to look like flower petals. Or maybe like a rose blossom. The cap also looks the same way. It's a pretty bottle. It's very different from the rest. I think there is some sort of perfume out there that has a similar shaped bottle. Am I wrong? I know some of the Dolce perfumes that are like flower noted have caps kind of like this. So it's called Fleur Fatale. So I'm expecting, you know, a sexy floral fragrance. I'm hoping it's a little lighter, a little airier, but it is woodsy, so it probably will be a little deeper. Maybe not necessarily dark, but deeper. Those are my expectations going in. So let's spray it and see if that's what we get. Okay. It is a lighter floral scent, a little bit more powdery. There is a slight bit of sweetness in there. I'm getting rose. I'm getting a lot of rose in this. Watch, I'll be wrong. There's like a little undercurrent of maybe some citrus and a little undercurrent of woodiness. I'm not getting a ton of musk off the bat. Sometimes musk can give a little bit of a powdery smell, so that might be also attributing to it. But it's nice. It's not too strong. It's a little airier. It's pretty. It's gentle. Again, because it's a floral, there's a little bit of a synthetic-iness to it. Not too much, though. Of the flower scents, that's something much more wearable for me. Let's look at the notes and see if we got anything right. The top notes are bergamot, violet, and black currant. Thank God. The middle notes are peony, iris, and tea rose. So, yay. There is rose in there. I'm not making things up in my head. The base notes are white musk, sandalwood, and amber. This is like, yeah, it's a pretty powdery rose woody scent. Light, airy, rosy, woody scent. If you like those kinds of scents, you might like this. Again, nothing too complicated, nothing too, you know, layered. It's basic, it is what it is, but for what it is, it's nice. I think next to Gold, I like this one the best. They're very different scents, so it's hard to compare them, but because of the syntheticness in here, I might give this a 6.5. Maybe it's a 7. It's right in there. It's hard for me to say. Now, I have a little extra credit here. I found this perfume. It says it's got the same packaging as the mini of the original Kim Kardashian, with the K's that look like a fishnet, and it says Kim Kardashian Exotic Tuberose. But when I went to research this fragrance, I couldn't find a damn thing. Like, nothing. Fragrantica had nothing. No other perfume websites had anything about its scent notes. I couldn't find, other than this one and a third-party seller on a Kmart website, I couldn't find it being sold anywhere. I couldn't find any articles about it, you know, about when it was released. Nothing. It's like this doesn't exist. Like, where the F did this come from? Did anybody know about this? I couldn't find pictures of what, like, the full bottle looked like. I couldn't even determine that this actually exists, other than the fact that I'm holding it in my hand. is this a real Kim Kardashian perfume, or was this just something somebody slapped a Kim Kardashian bottle on? Somebody tried to pawn off as a Kim Kardashian fragrance to try to make money. Has anybody heard of this? Because this on the internet, other than like 2 third-party sellers, does not exist. I felt crazy looking this up. If it hadn't been in my hands, I would have been like, I must have made that up. I must not have seen that anywhere before, because the internet doesn't seem to know about it. Anyway, so I have no notes on it. I can't tell you what's in it, when it was released, if it even was released. I have no information for you. But I figured I have it, so let's smell it. And if anybody else has heard of it, solve the mystery. Put the information down below. Link an article if you haven't. Please make me feel like I'm not just nuts. So this is a roller ball as well. I'm just going to roll it onto the other hand. Okay, see, actual liquid came out. Well, you probably can't see it. But actual liquid came out that time. The other one, I saw no liquid or wateriness on my hand. Go figure. The non-existent perfume works and the real one doesn't. All right. It smells exactly like the Kim Kardashian perfume, the original first one. Maybe like the slightest difference. I don't know. I don't buy that that's real, because why would she release something that smells almost exactly like her first perfume? And it's not even called like Kim Kardashian Silver. It's not even like a Kim Kardashian flanker. It's called Exotic Tuberose, which is like a totally different thing. It's maybe slightly less sweet than the Kim Kardashian one, and has a little bit of that suntan lotion-y note underneath. That's about the only difference. So either somebody just tried to copy the Kim Kardashian logo and the original perfume and tried to call it something else to sell it, or maybe she did have a perfume that she did as kind of like a flanker version that was very similar, and that she released limitedly and it didn't do well because it was too similar. I don't know. It's a mystery to me. I have the bottle. It is something that exists, but I don't know if it is a legitimate perfume or a fake or what. Please help. I'm confused. So anyway, those are my Kim Kardashian perfumes that I tried. Like I said, the 2 that I liked most was Kim Kardashian Gold and the Fleur Fatale. So maybe I'll try those 2 out. I'll consider keeping those maybe. The others I will probably sell on my Mercari. So if you're interested in any of them, check out my Mercari. If they're not up by the time this video is out, they'll probably be up within a couple of days. My Mercari name is jennareidreviews. It's going to be in the description box below as well if you want to look that up. So that's it. We are finally done with all of our KKW and Kim Kardashian fragrances. After 4 videos, we're at the end. I'm kind of glad. I'm a little sick of these Kim Kardashian perfumes. I'm ready to move on to something else. Some of them surprised me, some in a good way, some in a not so good way. The Kim Kardashian line was along the lines of a celebrity fragrance. A little basic, a little cheap, a little synthetic. But overall, none of them were bad smelling. None of them were really cheap smelling. Some of them were nice, but again, nothing unique, nothing worth running out for. I think my favorites out of all the perfumes were definitely Body and the White Diamond and Crystal Gardenia. And I liked the Desert Rose from the Jeff Leatham collection. I'm not keeping the White Diamond because it smells exactly like J.Lo Glow. And I'm keeping Body, but that one smells exactly like Gucci Bamboo. It's in a travel bottle, so I'll keep it. I'm keeping the Desert Rose. I'm keeping the Crystal Gardenia. A lot of her fragrances seem to be dupe type fragrances. I think one of the hearts smelled a lot like Lancome Idole. And the Ruby scent from the Diamonds collection smelled like a not as good Jimmy Choo. And the Sapphire one definitely smelled like something familiar, but I couldn't tell what. And one of the other hearts smelled very much like an older popular floral scent that I couldn't name. So a lot of her scents I'm finding are very reminiscent of popular scents from other lines. I don't know if that's intentional, but I'm just finding that seems to be the case, at least from my point of view. The bottles in the KKW collection are beautiful. The scents are all nice. You just gotta find one that you like. And same with these guys, you know, they're basics. If you want something cheap, if you want something inexpensive and that's basic, there are things in this line, two different kinds of floral basics, a date night basic. It might be worth a shot. I hope these videos have been helpful. You know, hopefully they've directed you towards which fragrances might be of interest to you so you don't waste your money like I did. But I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I got to try all these scents. They satisfied a curiosity for me. I really got to know these fragrances. I learned a lot. These videos are fun. I liked smelling all of them. Not all of them. A couple of them gave me a headache. But I enjoyed the process. And I enjoyed making these videos for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed them too. If you did, think about leaving a like. Think about subscribing. And I hope you'll come back and watch another video in the future. If not, I'm just glad you're here today. Thank you for watching. And I hope to see you again in the future. Thanks, guys. Bye.